Today, something remarkable is about to take place. A moment long awaited, a truth long concealed, is finally ready to be revealed. This is not just another speech. This is a divine message sent from heaven above. It is a revelation meant for those who have been chosen even before time began. If you've ever felt ignored, forgotten, or uncertain about your purpose, listen closely, because God is speaking to you right now. He is saying that it's time to tell you everything, but you must listen carefully, for the hour is urgent and the midnight hour is fast approaching. What I am about to share with you will completely transform your understanding of who you are, why you are here, and what you are meant to do. It's time to awaken to the truth of your identity, the calling that has been burning in your soul, waiting for this exact moment to set it ablaze. Open your heart. Prepare your spirit. What follows is not for the casual or the faint-hearted. It is a message for the chosen, the prepared, the brave, those who are ready to step into the fullness of their God-ordained destiny. The time is now. The clock is ticking. And if you hear this voice, this word, this call, know this. You are not here by chance. You were chosen before the foundations of the earth, and now God is ready to reveal His secrets to you. Listen closely, for what you are about to hear could change everything. Before the earth was formed, before the stars were set in the heavens, before the sun and the moon took their places to give light and govern the night, God was already at work. Not only was He creating the world, but He was also setting into motion a divine plan, a plan so deliberate, so precise, that every detail of your life was written in the eternal book of destiny. You were not a random occurrence, nor an accident. No, you were chosen before time even began. Imagine, for a moment, the vastness of eternity. No beginning, no end, just the infinite presence of God. In that eternal realm, God's thoughts are not fleeting. They are purposeful and intentional. He knew your name, your character, your dreams, your potential. He saw the battles you would face, the victories you would win, and the legacy you would leave behind. And He said, "This one I will call mine. This one I will anoint for a task that only they can accomplish." There is a divine identity stamped on you, an identity that goes beyond your physical appearance, your family background, or your social standing. This identity is rooted in the eternal purposes of God. It is the essence of who you truly are, designed and shaped by the hand of the Creator Himself. And it is in this identity that you will find your true worth, your true value, and your true calling. Too often, we live as though we are just ordinary people, as though our lives have no greater purpose than the daily grind. We seek approval from others, look for direction, and search for meaning. But the truth is that the divine has already spoken over you. You carry the fingerprints of heaven. You are the chosen, the anointed, the set apart, one whose life carries a weight and purpose no one else can fulfill. This choosing is not based on your merit or achievement. It is based on God's sovereign will and His unfathomable love. You were chosen because God saw something unique in you, something that cannot be replicated or replaced. You were chosen because God had a plan for you that fits into the larger purpose of His kingdom. You are not here by accident, and you are not here without a mission. To understand this is to live with confidence and clarity. It means you no longer have to measure your worth by the opinions of others or by temporary successes or failures. You are valuable because God says you are. You are called because God says you are. Your purpose is not defined by the world's standards, but by the eternal decree of heaven. There is great power in embracing this truth. When you realize that you were chosen before time began, it changes how you view your challenges. It alters how you handle rejection and disappointment. It changes how you respond to criticism and fear. You begin to see every obstacle as part of divine preparation, every delay as God's perfect timing, and every struggle as a step toward your destiny. You begin to walk with a new level of boldness because you know you are not alone. The God who chose you is the same God who will equip, empower, and enable you to fulfill your purpose. This knowledge also carries responsibility. Being chosen before time began is a call to stewardship. You are entrusted with gifts, talents, and anointing to impact the world around you. The calling on your life is not just for your benefit, it is for the benefit of others. You were chosen to be a light in the darkness, a voice in the silence, a source of hope in despair. It is easy to get caught up in the distractions of life and forget who you are. The world constantly tries to define you by your failures, limitations, or circumstances, but God's word over you is louder and stronger. His choosing is unchangeable. His purpose is irrevocable. So when doubt creeps in, when the enemy tries to convince you that you are ordinary, remember this: you were chosen before time began. You are part of a divine plan that stretches across eternity. You carry a destiny that is too big for you to handle alone, but with God, all things are possible. Step into the fullness of who you are. Walk boldly in the calling that was placed on your life long before you even understood its meaning. Allow the truth of your divine selection to fuel your faith, empower your actions, and inspire your future. The moment you accept that you were chosen before time began is the moment you begin to live the life you are meant to live. It's the moment your purpose shifts from a distant dream to an attainable reality. It's the moment when God's eternal plan for your life starts to unfold, and the world begins to see the greatness that has been hidden inside you all along. There is a time for everything under heaven, and every season has its appointed hour. God moves in perfect timing, and His divine timetable is unfolding even as you listen. This is no ordinary moment. This is not the time to hesitate, delay, or procrastinate. The hour is now. The urgency of what is coming demands your full attention, your complete readiness, and your unwavering faith. The clock is ticking. Every second brings us closer to the midnight hour, the time when everything hidden will be revealed, when divine mysteries will come into the light, and when the chosen ones will step fully into their destiny. This is a sacred appointment, a defining moment in the course of your life and the destiny of the world. It is a moment that cannot be ignored or postponed. Urgency is not just about rushing or acting quickly. It is about recognizing the significance of the time you are in. It is about understanding that there is a divine plan at work, and you are part of it. The hour you are living in is filled with revelation, breakthrough, and transformation. The enemy wants you to believe that you have all the time in the world, that your purpose can wait, your calling can be delayed, and your breakthrough is far away. But this is a lie. God's timing is perfect, and His calendar is exact. When He says the hour is now, it means that the window of opportunity is open, but it will not stay open forever. The midnight hour will strike, and with it, the moment of decision will come. It is the moment when the faithful will be rewarded, when the prepared will be lifted, and when the unprepared will miss their chance. This urgency calls for spiritual alertness, a readiness of heart and mind to receive the truth God is revealing. It is not a time for casual listening or distracted thoughts. The revelation coming your way is life-changing, destiny-defining, and purpose-aligning. To ignore it is to risk missing the very reason you were chosen. The hour is now because God is removing the veil of confusion and bringing clarity to your path. He is lifting the fog of uncertainty and replacing it with the light of understanding. What has been hidden in darkness is about to be revealed. Secrets that were locked away for seasons are now being unlocked, and the timing could not be more critical. When the clock strikes midnight, there will be no more waiting, no more delay. What you have prepared for in prayer, in fasting, in quiet reflection will come to fruition. What you have believed for in faith, even when circumstances seemed impossible, will manifest. The hour you have longed for has arrived, but with this urgency comes a challenge. The enemy will try to distract you, confuse you, and keep you from hearing God's voice clearly. You will face moments of doubt and fear, but remember, you must be spiritually awake, anchored in God's word, rooted in prayer, and connected to His wisdom. You must also be willing to act swiftly. Revelation without action is like a seed planted but never watered. The moment you receive divine insight, you must act in faith. This is not a time to hesitate. The divine timetable is relentless, and the clock is not waiting for anyone. The hour is now, and the world is shifting. What was once hidden is becoming visible. What was once distant is now near. What was once impossible is now within reach. This is your moment to rise, to step out, and to claim what God has prepared for you since the beginning of time. This is also a time of accountability. God is watching how you respond to this urgency. Will you listen? Will you obey? Will you align with His will? The answer to these questions will determine the trajectory of your destiny. It is said that your life from this moment onward will take a different course. You must remember that the midnight hour is not merely a countdown to an ending, but the start of something new. It marks the moment when the purpose that God has set for your life transitions from being a period of preparation to one of manifestation. The time is now for you to step forward and embrace your destiny with boldness, clarity, and an unshakable faith. So do not wait, do not hesitate. The revelation coming to you is a divine gift, a key that will open the door to your future. Pay attention, act decisively, and move forward with confidence. The moment is here, and your destiny awaits just beyond this moment. This is your time. The clock is ticking. The midnight hour is fast approaching, bringing with it a revelation that is so powerful, so transformative, that your story will never be the same again. There is a sacred truth that many fail to understand. God's deepest secrets are not scattered about for everyone to find. They are not meant for all people, but rather for those who have been prepared, refined, and chosen to carry the weight of divine responsibility. The wisdom you seek, the power you yearn for, and the insight you desire have not been kept from you to punish you or distance you from God. No, these things have been carefully guarded, not as a barrier, but as a part of a process of preparation. The divine realm works on principles of readiness and stewardship. God does not just give the keys to His kingdom to anyone. He tests, trains, and transforms those He calls, so that when the time comes, they will be ready to bear the burden of knowledge and authority without being crushed by it. There is a season for learning, a season for growing, and a season for receiving revelation. If you rush ahead without preparing yourself, you risk being overwhelmed by what you are not yet equipped to handle. That is why God's secrets have often been hidden in plain sight, not to keep you out, but to keep you safe. Safe from the dangers of misuse, misunderstanding, or premature exposure. The power that comes with divine knowledge is immense. It can build or destroy. It can bless or curse, and so God's wisdom is reserved for those who demonstrate faithfulness in the small things, who walk humbly, and who seek His face with a pure heart. The process of preparation is not easy. It requires discipline, patience, and surrender. It often means waiting in silence when you want to speak, trusting when you want to doubt, and obeying when you do not understand. This period of preparation serves as a spiritual forge, refining your character, strengthening your faith, and aligning your will with God's purpose. It is here in this place of preparation that your heart becomes ready to receive what the world cannot give, divine insight that will change everything. God's secrets come with responsibility. They are not privileges to be flaunted, but trusts to be honored. When you receive revelation, you become a steward of sacred truth. You are called to use what you know not for selfish gain, but for the advancement of God's kingdom and for the blessing of others. This is why preparation matters so much, because the consequences of misuse can be severe. It is written that the secrets of heaven are powerful, and power in the wrong hands can cause destruction rather than deliverance. Being prepared means cultivating a life of integrity, humility, and obedience. It means choosing character over convenience, faith over fear, and purpose over pleasure. It means understanding that the journey toward revelation is as important as the revelation itself. God is less concerned with giving quick knowledge and more focused on giving mature wisdom. He wants to ensure that when He reveals His secrets to you, you are not only ready to understand them, but also to live them out with honor and grace. There is a story in Scripture about servants who were entrusted with talents. The master gave each servant according to their ability, and when he returned, he expected them to have stewarded what was given to them wisely. This same principle applies to God's secrets. You will be given revelation according to your readiness, and you will be held accountable for how you use it. This accountability is not meant to discourage you, but to encourage you to prepare well, to be faithful in small things, so that you can be trusted with greater things. Many people desire power, but few desire the preparation. Many people seek blessings, but avoid responsibility. But God's kingdom operates differently. Here, preparation is the gateway to power. Without preparation, revelation remains locked and your destiny remains delayed. The moment you commit to preparation, you step into a higher level of divine favor, because God honors those who honor the process. So, if you find yourself waiting, struggling, or wondering why the doors have not yet opened, understand this: God is preparing you. He is not withholding from you because He does not love you. He is not silent because He has forgotten you. He is working in your life, shaping you, teaching you, and aligning you with His perfect will. The knowledge and power you seek are on their way, but they will come in God's perfect timing when you are fully ready. This is a call to patience and perseverance, a call to spiritual maturity and readiness. Seeking God's secrets is noble, but preparing for them is wise. The privilege of knowing God's heart, walking in His power, and fulfilling His purpose is reserved for those who are prepared. Be that person. Embrace the preparation. Value the process. And when the secrets are finally revealed to you, you will be ready to carry them with the honor and responsibility they deserve. Remember, divine revelation is not a prize for the impatient, but a reward for the prepared. It is not a gift for the careless, but a trust for the faithful. As you walk this journey, know that your preparation is not in vain. It is the very foundation on which God will build your destiny, the training ground for your ministry, and the proving place for your future. The secrets of God are not for the many, but for the prepared, and that prepared person is you. There comes a time in every journey when darkness seems to close in from all sides. This is the night of the soul, a season of silence, a time when confusion clouds your mind and fear presses against your heart. What you are going through right now, the trials, the setbacks, the unanswered prayers, is not a sign of defeat. It is the darkness just before dawn, the test that precedes your breakthrough. This moment is not a curse, it is a doorway. Many have walked this path before you, facing the night when nothing seemed to make sense, when hope felt distant, and when the future appeared uncertain. But what separates those who emerge victorious from those who remain stuck in despair is the understanding that this darkness is part of the divine process. It is not the end, but the preparation for a new beginning. The midnight hour is a powerful metaphor because it reminds us that the darkest hour is often just before the light appears. In the natural world, we know that dawn always follows the night. It is inevitable. The sun does not fail to rise. Spiritually, the same principle holds true. When you feel overwhelmed by darkness, know that a new day is coming. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is on the horizon. This darkness serves a purpose. It tests your faith, reveals your character, and strips away the superficial, exposing what is truly inside you. In the silence, God is at work. Even when you cannot see it, even when you cannot feel it, your current struggle is a refining fire. It burns away doubt, fear, and weakness, and produces strength, courage, and clarity. When you face confusion and uncertainty, resist the temptation to give up or turn back. Remember that God often allows the night to teach us lessons we cannot learn any other way. It is in the darkness that faith takes root, in the silence that God's voice becomes clear, and in the trial that God's power becomes most evident. You may be tempted to think this is your defeat, that you have been forgotten or abandoned. But that is a lie designed to steal your hope and rob you of your destiny. The midnight hour is not a curse. It is a doorway, the portal you must pass through to enter into a new season of victory and purpose. History is filled with stories of those who faced the darkest moments, only to emerge stronger, wiser, and more anointed. Joseph was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and forgotten in prison. But that darkness was the preparation for his rise to power. David fled for his life, hiding in caves, but that darkness shaped him for the throne. Even Jesus spent 40 days in the wilderness, facing temptation and isolation before he began his ministry. Your darkness is no different. It is not a sign of failure, but a sign of testing. It is the proving ground for your faith. What you endure now will prepare you to walk in the fullness of your calling. The challenges you face are temporary, but the breakthrough that follows will be eternal. Hold on to your faith during this time. Cling to the promises of God when everything around you seems uncertain. Speak words of life and hope over yourself, even when your feelings suggest otherwise. Remember that God's timing is perfect and He is never late. The night may seem long, but dawn is coming. The darkness before dawn also teaches us patience. God's timing is never rushed. He knows exactly when to act and how to bring about His purposes. Sometimes delay is not denial, but divine preparation. It is in this waiting that your character is strengthened, your vision clarified, and your spirit made resilient. Do not rush the process. Do not despise the days of small beginnings or the seasons of silence. These are the moments when your faith is being built. As the midnight hour draws near, do not let despair take hold of you. Instead, view it as an invitation to rise. Rise with faith, rise with hope, rise with expectation. The darkness you find yourself in is temporary. The dawn is closer than you realize. And when it finally breaks, it will shine so brightly that it will scatter every shadow, every doubt, and every fear. Your breakthrough is on its way. Victory is already assured. The test you face today will transform into your testimony. And the darkness before the dawn will no longer be remembered as a time of defeat, but as the crucible that shaped you for greatness. Stand firm. Keep your faith strong. The dawn is nearly here. Destiny is not a place of comfort. It's not a road paved with certainty or lined with ease. To step into your divine destiny takes more than desire or dreams. It demands courage and obedience. It calls for a heart that listens carefully to God's voice, a spirit willing to obey without hesitation, and feet ready to move forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. Many wait for the perfect moment before stepping into their purpose. They look for clarity or a sign so obvious that there's no room for doubt. But destiny rarely waits for clarity. It calls you to step out in faith before the full picture is revealed. It asks you to trust what is unseen, to move by the guidance of the Spirit, and to walk boldly on a road that fewer dare to travel. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to press forward despite fear. It's the willingness to face uncertainty, embrace the unknown, and take on the risks that come with obedience. Walking into your destiny means standing firm when others doubt you, continuing the race when you can't see the finish line, and moving forward when the world tells you to stop. Obedience is the bedrock of faith. It is the outward expression of trust in God's plan. When you obey, even in the little things, you open the door for greater revelations and greater responsibilities. Obedience aligns your will with God's, positioning you to receive the blessings and breakthroughs He has prepared for you. At times, obedience will demand sacrifice. It will require you to give up comfort, convenience, or even public opinion. It may call you to step away from what is familiar and safe and into a place that feels uncertain or risky. But remember, the path to destiny is rarely easy, for it is a journey of transformation. God uses the challenges and sacrifices along the way to refine your character and prepare you for the fullness of your purpose. To walk in destiny, you must learn to listen, to really listen to God's voice above the noise of the world. His voice may come as a quiet whisper, a sudden impression, or a persistent prompting in your spirit, but it will require your full attention. You must develop sensitivity to the Spirit through prayer, meditation, and studying His Word. Without listening, obedience becomes impossible. Without obedience, your destiny remains just out of reach. There will be moments when the path ahead seems dark, when the instructions are unclear, and when doubts threaten to freeze your steps. During these times, courage becomes your anchor, and obedience becomes your guide. You move forward not because you see the entire path, but because you trust the one who is calling you to take the first step. The heroes of faith did not have all the answers. Abraham was asked to leave everything he knew and go to a land he had never seen. Moses was confronted with a hostile crowd and uncertain leadership. Esther risked her life by approaching the king uninvited. Each of their stories shows that destiny is not about having all the answers. It's about responding to God's call with courage and obedience. Remember, destiny is a journey, not a one-time event. It's the daily choice to say yes to God's voice, even when it doesn't align with your comfort or understanding. It's a commitment to walk in faithfulness, even when you don't see immediate results. It's a willingness to be shaped, tested, and refined along the way. The courage to obey often comes from knowing deep within that God is faithful, that He will equip you, and that He will never leave you. It comes from the confidence that your destiny is worth every sacrifice, every trial, and every moment of uncertainty. When you embrace this courage, you become unstoppable, for your strength doesn't come from yourself, but from the One who called you. Obedience, coupled with courage, opens doors that no force can shut. It releases supernatural favor, opens heavenly windows, and brings divine acceleration. It is the key that transforms dreams into reality and potential into purpose. So, if you find yourself at the threshold of your destiny, uncertain of the next step, remember this: courage is required, obedience is essential, and faith is your guide. Don't wait for all the answers. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Step forward in trust. Move boldly in obedience. Embrace the courage that God gives. Your destiny is calling. The path may be unclear, but the destination is certain. Walk with courage, obey with faith, and watch as God unfolds the incredible purpose He has designed just for you. The time for waiting is over. The long seasons of silence, the quiet moments of preparation, and the patient endurance of trials, all of it has led to this moment. Your season of unveiling has come. This is the hour when God begins to lift the veil. The mysteries that were once hidden will soon be revealed to you. What was once secret, what was once locked away in heaven's depths, is now being shown to you, and this revelation will change everything. Understand this: unveiling isn't just about gaining knowledge or insight, it's about transformation. It's about shifting your perspective, your purpose, and your destiny. The truths God is ready to reveal won't simply add to what you know. They will redefine who you are and what you are called to do. This is a season of radical clarity, divine alignment, and supernatural empowerment. For too long, you may have felt as though you were stuck in a place of waiting, hoping, praying for your breakthrough. But that waiting served a divine purpose. It was a time of preparation, a time of building your faith, a time of seasoning. And now the waiting is over. The veil is lifting. The secrets once reserved for a select few are now being shared with you, because God trusts you with the responsibility that comes with revelation. This unveiling is sacred. It demands your full attention, your deepest listening. This is not a time for distractions, casual hearing, or divided focus. The words you hear, the insights you gain, and the wisdom that unfolds in this season will directly affect your future. You must listen carefully. Your destiny depends on it. God's unveiling often comes in unexpected ways, through sudden insight, divine encounters, breakthroughs in understanding, or shifts in circumstance. Be alert and sensitive to the Spirit's movements. Don't miss what God is doing simply because you're distracted by the noise of the world or the doubts in your mind. This is a sacred moment, and it requires your wholehearted response. The unveiling will also reveal your purpose with greater clarity. What was once a vague dream or distant hope will become a clear, tangible mission. Your path will be illuminated by divine light. Doors that seemed closed will swing open. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will suddenly be within your grasp. This is the season when your calling will move from possibility to reality. But with revelation comes responsibility. God's truths aren't just for your benefit. They are meant to be shared, to be lived out, and to impact others' lives. The unveiling is a call to action. It asks you to step into your role with confidence, humility, and faithfulness. Expect challenges along the way. Unveiling can disrupt the status quo. It may require you to leave behind old habits, limiting beliefs, or relationships that no longer serve your growth. Transformation is rarely comfortable, but it's necessary. The old must give way to the new. The familiar must be replaced by the divine. The ordinary must be elevated to the extraordinary. Your season of unveiling is also a season of celebration. It's the reward for your faithfulness, the fruit of your endurance, and the manifestation of God's promises. As you embrace this new season, rejoice in the breakthroughs, insights, and progress you see. Celebrate the fact that you've moved from waiting to action, from uncertainty to clarity, and from preparation to purpose. Remember, this unveiling is only the beginning of a new chapter. What God reveals now will lay the foundation for the rest of your life. It will be the launching pad for greater things, the springboard into your destiny. The future that once seemed far off and elusive is now within your reach as God unveils it before your eyes. This moment is sacred. It's a divine appointment. You were made for this season, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. So tune your heart to listen, open your mind to receive, and prepare to move forward in faith. The mysteries of God are unfolding, and your life will never be the same. This is your season of unveiling. The time for waiting is over. Your future is being written in real time by the hand of the Almighty. Listen carefully. Your destiny depends on it. So now, my dear friend, the choice is before you. Will you step into the fullness of what God has prepared for you? Will you rise in courage, obedience, and faith? The hour has come. The veil is lifting. The darkness is giving way to the dawn. Your season of unveiling is here, and with it comes the opportunity to walk boldly into your divine destiny. Remember this: you were not meant to be ordinary. You were chosen for greatness. You were created for purpose, and no matter what you've faced, no matter how long the night, God's promises never fail. He is faithful to bring to light every secret, every plan, every blessing He has reserved for you. So listen carefully, obey promptly, move forward fearlessly, because your life, your destiny, your future depend on it. The clock is ticking, the midnight hour is here, but you, chosen one, are ready. Now go forth and fulfill the purpose for which you were created.